When everything feels like it's falling apart, your nervous system goes into survival mode. And survival mode isn't calm, it's chaos, panic, desperate grasping for control. But here's what you need to know: calm isn't about controlling the chaos, it's about finding your center inside of it. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why everything feels like it's collapsing and the three practices that will bring you back to calm even when your world is crumbling. I've been there: job falling apart, relationship ending, money problems, health issues, all at once. And I felt like I was drowning, like if I could just fix one thing, I'd be okay. But I couldn't fix anything because I was in full panic mode. Every solution I tried made things worse. Because I wasn't operating from calm, I was operating from fear. And fear makes terrible decisions. Then I learned the truth that saved me. You can't calm the storm, but you can calm yourself in the storm. And when you're calm, you see clearly, you respond wisely, you make decisions from centered presence instead of frantic desperation. And ironically, that's when things start to shift. Not because the external situation changed, but because you changed. And from that grounded place, you can handle anything. Here's what we're covering. First, why everything feels like it's falling apart and what your nervous system is actually doing. Second, the three things you're doing that make the chaos worse. And third, the three practices that will bring you back to calm so you can navigate the storm with clarity instead of panic. Let's start with what's actually happening when everything feels like it's falling apart. Your nervous system is in hyperactivation, fight or flight. It perceives threat, multiple threats, coming from every direction. And it's trying to keep you safe by keeping you on high alert. Heart racing, mind spinning, body tense. You can't sleep, you can't focus, you can't relax, because your system believes you're in danger, and it won't let you rest until the danger is gone. But here's the problem: the danger your nervous system is responding to isn't immediate. You're not being chased by a tiger. The threats are future-based. What if I lose everything? What if this doesn't work out? What if I can't handle this? Your nervous system can't tell the difference between real threats and imagined ones. So it treats your worries about the future like actual present danger, and it keeps you stuck in survival mode. This is why you feel like everything is falling apart. Not because everything actually is, but because your nervous system is catastrophizing. It's taking each problem and making it feel like the end of the world. And when you're in that state, you can't see solutions, you can't think rationally, you can only react. And usually, your reactions make things worse. You lash out, you give up, you make impulsive choices, because you're trying to escape the discomfort instead of moving through it with wisdom. The key to calm isn't fixing everything. It's regulating your nervous system so you can think clearly, so you can respond instead of react. So you can see that yes, things are hard right now, but hard doesn't mean falling apart. Hard means you're being challenged, and you're strong enough to meet the challenge. Once you calm your system, you realize you're okay. Right now, in this moment, you're okay. And from that okayness, you can handle whatever comes next. Now here are the three things you're doing that make the chaos worse. Mistake number one, you're trying to fix everything at once. When multiple things go wrong, your instinct is to fix them all immediately. You start spinning plates, taking frantic action, trying to control every variable, and you end up overwhelmed, exhausted, and making things worse. Because you can't fix everything at once, you're human, you have limits, and trying to do too much means you do nothing well. This creates more chaos. You're scattered, reactive, putting out fires but not addressing root causes. And you feel like you're failing because nothing's getting better. But you're not failing, you're just trying to do the impossible. You need to slow down, prioritize, focus on one thing at a time. That's how you create actual progress instead of just spinning your wheels. Mistake number two, you're resisting what's happening. You're fighting reality, saying, this shouldn't be happening. Why is this happening to me? This isn't fair. And that resistance creates suffering. Because reality is what it is. Fighting it doesn't change it. It just makes you miserable. You're adding the pain of resistance to the pain of the situation, and you end up suffering twice. Once from what's happening, and again from your refusal to accept it. Acceptance doesn't mean you like what's happening. It means you stop fighting what is and start working with it. You acknowledge, this is the situation I'm in. I don't like it, but it's here. And I can either waste energy resisting it or channel that energy into responding to it. When you stop resisting, You conserve your energy for what actually matters, for solutions, for action, for moving forward. Mistake number 3, you're isolating yourself. When everything falls apart, you pull inward. You don't want to burden others. You don't want to look weak. You try to handle it alone. And you end up feeling more overwhelmed, more hopeless, more alone. Because you're carrying everything by yourself. And humans aren't designed to do that. We're designed to connect, to support each other, to share the weight. Isolation makes everything feel bigger than it is. When you're alone with your problems, they consume you. But when you share them, they shrink. Not because the problems get smaller, but because you're no longer carrying them solo. Someone listens, someone cares, someone reminds you that you're not alone. And that connection regulates your nervous system. It signals, I'm safe, I'm supported, I can handle this. And from that place, calm becomes possible. Now here's how to actually find calm when everything feels like it's falling apart. These practices will ground you so you can navigate chaos with clarity. Practice number 1, the grounding breath. When panic hits, your breath becomes shallow and fast, chest breathing, fight or flight breathing, and that signals to your nervous system that you're in danger, which keeps you in panic. So you need to interrupt that pattern. You need to breathe in a way that tells your nervous system you're safe. And the way to do that is through deep belly breathing. Here's how. Place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Feel your belly expand, not your chest. Hold for a count of 4. Exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 6. Hold for a count of 2. Repeat this 5 times. You're activating your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system. And when you activate that, panic decreases, clarity increases. You're physically shifting your body out of survival mode. Do this every time you notice panic rising. Don't wait until you're completely overwhelmed. The moment you feel your heart racing or your thoughts spinning, stop, breathe, ground yourself. You're training your nervous system that it's safe to calm down, that you don't need to stay in fight or flight, that you can handle what's happening from a regulated state. Practice number 2, zoom out and ask the 5-year question. When you're in the middle of chaos, everything feels huge, life or death, catastrophic. But most of what feels like the end of the world right now won't matter in 5 years. So you need perspective, you need to zoom out. You ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Will I even remember this? And if the answer is no, you let it carry less weight. You give it less emotional energy. This doesn't minimize your pain or your struggle. It just puts it in context. Yes, this is hard, but hard isn't permanent. Hard is in the end. It's a chapter. And 5 years from now, you'll look back and see that you got through it, that you were stronger than you thought, that this hard moment was just a moment, not your whole story. And even if the answer is yes, it will matter in 5 years, you ask, will I have survived it? Will I have found a way through? The answer is almost always yes. Because you've survived every hard thing before this, and you'll survive this too. Not because you're invincible, but because you're resilient. And remembering that helps you calm down, because you're not facing the unknown, you're facing another challenge, and you've met challenges before. Practice number 3, take the next right action. When everything feels overwhelming, you freeze. You don't know where to start. You don't know what to do, so you do nothing. And that makes it worse, because inaction feeds panic. But action creates momentum, even tiny action. So you don't try to solve everything, you just take the next right action. The one obvious thing you can do right now. Maybe it's making a phone call. Maybe it's asking for help. Maybe it's paying one bill. Maybe it's just getting out of bed and taking a shower. Whatever it is, you do it. And then you ask, what's the next right action? And you do that, one step at a time. You're not fixing everything, you're just moving forward. And movement calms your nervous system because it signals we're not helpless, we're not stuck, we're doing something. This also shifts you from victim to agent, from everything is happening to me to I'm responding to what's happening. And that shift is everything. You're not in control of the chaos, but you're in control of your response. And that gives you your power back. Here's what I want you to understand. Calm isn't about having perfect circumstances. It's about having a regulated nervous system inside imperfect circumstances. You can't control life. You can't prevent hard things from happening. But you can control how you meet them. With panic or with presence. With desperation or with groundedness. and that choice determines everything. We covered why everything feels chaotic, nervous system hyperactivation. We identified 3 mistakes: trying to fix everything at once, resisting reality, isolating yourself. And we walked through 3 practices: grounding breath, 5-year perspective, next right action. This is how you find calm in the storm, not by calming the storm, but by calming yourself, by regulating your nervous system, by zooming out for perspective, by taking one step at a time. And from that calm, you navigate whatever comes with wisdom instead of panic. So here's your practice. Right now, take 5 grounding breaths. Then ask, will this matter in 5 years? Then identify, what's the next right action I can take? Just one thing, and do it. You're building your capacity for calm. One breath, one question, one action at a time. Let me know in the comments, what's falling apart for you? And what's one small action you can take today? Everything doesn't have to be fixed for you to be okay. You can be okay in the middle of the mess. That's strength, that's resilience, that's calm. Welcome to the eye of the storm. This is where your power lives.